so good to see you guys. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all more on more personal level, a little bit better next year. Who's excited about the idea of middle school? Yeah? Who's a little bit nervous about the idea of middle school? Okay, so hopefully today's session, plus we've then got your parents' session on Monday night, okay, plus in term 4 you guys will be working towards surviving middle school, plus we also have a transition day where you actually come up to the school and experience middle school. All of those things together, I honestly believe that all your nerves will disappear, okay? All the big nerves. You might have some healthy little nerves, that's okay, because it is a new experience. So I'm just going to jump up here to the stand and go through this. So, for the first time in your lives, you have the opportunity to choose some subjects. Does that sound exciting? Yeah? So we're going to talk about, because you've got a lot of choices. So I'm sure you're wondering, what can I choose? What should I choose? So let's have a look first. This is a standard Year 7 timetable. It's a little bit hard to read, so I need you to sort of squint, okay? What do you notice about that that is kind of the same as Year 6? Yes? Yeah, they have the same periods, and the periods are the same times as what they are in primary school. So there's no difference there. Up the back there. You have chapel, yes? You have some core subjects like science, maths, and English. You've still got to take those, whether you like them or not. I'm sorry, it just has to happen. Okay, anyone over here? Yes? Form class, yes. But what do you notice that's different? Yes? So instead of the, sorry? Well, this is 1 week, Monday to Friday. So we've got, you still have periods at the same in grade 6? Yeah, so it's kind of the same. Yep. There's 2 elective lines in there. One's an art elective and one's a normal elective, and I'm going to explain that today. Oh, excuse me. Yes? Some subjects go for 2 periods, some of them go for 1 period. Yes, at the third one in, yes. They're all the same. So each week's timetable is exactly the same. So what you do on Monday this week, you will do on Monday next week and Monday the week after, unless there's a public holiday, because then you get to stay home and sleep in. Kat. Sorry, you're not Kat. Misty. That's a big one. You've got different teachers for your different subjects. And sometimes, it's not on that, oh yes it is, different rooms. Okay, so you can see these little numbers here. We've got M18, M18, M18. So M18 would be your form classroom if you were in, this year I think it's 7B is in that room. And then here you go to a different room for HPE, and chances are in HPE you're actually out in the oval anyway. You don't actually go to a room. But some here, this is in the library. Okay, this one here is in the science block. And you'll get to know what those letters and numbers mean and where they are. And even if you are a little bit stuck, there's a map in the back of your diary anyway. Okay. So, in grade 7, we've got 3 types of subjects. We've got your core subjects, English, maths, science, humanities, HPE, Japanese. What else? Sorry? Digital technologies is a new one as well. So, but they're all core. Everybody has to do those. Okay? Then you have to do what's called an art subject. So it's compulsory, but there are some choices that you have to make. And then you also get to do an elective subject. So you get to try, we do 1 per semester. So the idea with Year 7 is that you get to try a number of subjects that you think you might like. Okay, and then when you're in grade 8, you get to take them for the whole year if you want to. Okay, so we do an art elective in semester 1 and a normal elective in semester 1, and then we change our minds and we do a different art elective and a different normal elective. You cannot do the same one twice because it's the same stuff. You wouldn't want to repeat maths or repeat science, would you? Well, some of you might, but yeah. Okay, so our core subjects. Core subjects go for between 2 and 5 lessons a week, and it does depend on the subject. Digital technologies is only 2 subjects, whereas maths and English and science are 5 subjects. Humanities is 4 subjects, or 4 lessons a week. Japanese is 2 lessons a week. HPE is 3 lessons a week. So anywhere in there. Now, there is a middle school subject handbook that outlines all of these subjects. Your parents will get a copy of that on Monday night, but it can also be accessed on Parent Lounge. Okay, they go into the links, and the general links, there's a handbook section, and they can have a look at it. So all of these subjects are explained in more detail in that booklet. Now, one of those subjects that was up there was called technologies or digital technologies. Now, this is a subject that delves into the use of technology in our daily lives. You learn things that relate to coding and gaming and things like that. You do little tasks throughout the whole entire year, rather than you don't have an assignment that you have to take home and do. You just do it sort of in class, and it's 2 lessons a week. So this is compulsory. Every student will do that as part of their timetable, but different classes might have it at different times. Like Monday morning might be if you're in 7B, and Friday morning might be if you're in 7W or something like that. So we then have our arts subjects. So it's compulsory to take 2. Remember, there's one in semester 1 and then another one in semester 2. And you have to choose between visual arts, dance, drama, music, and media arts. And I'm going to explain each of those ones in a little bit more detail so that you know. It's 2 lessons a week, and your assessment is sometimes done as in class, and sometimes you might have to do a little bit of work at home so that you've got like an exam coming up and you might have to revise for that, or a little assignment to do. So let's go through each one of those separately. So, dance. Who's done dance before? Does anyone do? Oh, lots of people have done dance. I'm not just talking about the chicken dance or something like that. I'm talking about dance. Yeah? So if you take dance outside of school, you might really like this subject. But if you've never taken dance before, you might also really like this subject. There's no prerequisite. You could literally have 2 left feet and still take dance. Okay? That's good because I've got 2 left feet. Yeah, so some of the things that we cover in that semester is elements of dance and popular dance. So you look at a little bit about choreography and a little bit about dance styles and things like that. So various dance genres through performance, choreography, and appreciation-based activities. Who thinks that they might be interested in taking dance as a subject? Oh, I think we could get more people than that. Okay, that's fine. Next one, drama. Okay, so we're looking at, drama is all about the theatre. Who's been to see a theatre show or a musical? Lots of people. Did you enjoy it? Yeah? Okay. So you get to act on stage. You get to, I think some of the kids actually do a little performance for the preppies. So they really enjoy doing that. But they look at the elements of drama. What makes good acting? How do you learn? How do you remember your lines? How do you project your voice? Because you don't always have microphones. Okay, but you've got to get the people at the back of the room have got to be able to hear you. And then we look at the theatre rules as well. So there are, I don't know what the theatre rules are because that's not really my forte, but your teachers can tell you that. Then we have media arts. So media arts is kind of an introduction to film and television. So I'm actually teaching media arts this year for my first time ever. It's been a very steep learning curve for me, but I'm really enjoying the subject. So we learn about what makes an interesting movie or story, the storyline. And then we look at the characters and how to develop those characters. And then we get the cameras out and we actually sequence some shots. So there's a little bit of theory to start with, but then there's some practical work at the end of it. Who thinks they might be interested in media arts? It is a very popular subject. We currently have 2 classes running at the same time, and we had 2 classes last semester as well. So there have been 4 classes of media arts in the current grade 7s. We have music. Okay, so students will explore sound through a range of integrated activities. So you get to invent a ringtone, analysing a song, and creating an advertising jingle. And it doesn't matter if you've never studied music before. Okay? If you play an instrument outside of school, or even with instrumental music, then that might give you a little bit of a head start. But it's okay if you've never played an instrument before and you know nothing about music. Give it a go. And then we've got visual arts. Visual arts is kind of what you would just call art. We're looking at drawing and sculpting and photography and all sorts of things that go into that together. And it could be drawing with pencil or crayon or painting, all that. Who thinks they'd be interested in visual arts? Oh, there's a lot of people there. Mrs. Loveridge will be very happy. Then we have our elective line. So this is your other elective. So with those ones, with the previous one that was your arts line, you have to take arts subjects. Okay, it is compulsory. But this other elective line, you get a choice in what you want to take. You've got agricultural science. So you could go down and play with Gerald the sheep. Design. Okay, design is kind of a cross between, it's drawing, planning. Who wants to be an architect or an engineer? So design would be a good subject, okay, because that would give you those basics. LEEP STEM, you guys have that this year, don't you? And LEEP COGS, okay, all of that. Industrial skills. So industrial skills is where you build what you design. Okay, they can go together quite well. CIT is called Computers and Information Technology, and Food and Textiles Technology. So these also, you study 2 of them, one in semester 1, one in semester 2. They go for 2 lessons a week, and your assessment is only in class. Okay, so let's go through each one of these. First one is agricultural science. Usually your lessons are down on the ag farm, which is down behind the pool. You do look more at vegetables for your garden. You have your own garden down the back there and you get to take home some vegetables, but you will also look at the animals as well. But ag science in grade 7 is more the agricultural side of it, the planting and the rather than the animals. The animals come in a little bit later in grade 8, 9, 10 and onwards. Creative and interactive, not international. Interactive technologies, we call it CIT for short. Okay, so practical engagement with contemporary digital technology. So you do things like image manipulation, working with Photoshop. Okay, has anyone ever played around with Photoshop before? Oh, okay, you guys might be really good at this subject. And game design, so creating your own game. I wouldn't have a clue how to do that. Then we're looking at design, so about working with traditional and contemporary and emerging technologies that shape the world that we live in. So I think they actually break down and look at a USB. So we've all got USBs, haven't we? You've seen them before? How do they work? Yeah? Yeah, but how does it actually work? I don't know how it works. I just plug it in and it does. But if you take it apart and you look at the design and then maybe try and come up with a better way to make it even smaller, dare I say. Okay, wouldn't that be an interesting topic? So this, in design, you get to work sometimes with the 3D printers that we have in the school. We then have food and textile technologies. So have you ever heard of a subject called home ec? Okay, home ec doesn't exist anymore. It's now called food and textiles technologies. Okay, but that's what it is. Okay, so food, we look at the food side of it. We look at healthy snacks, what makes food healthy, how our body processes it. And textiles, we learn about sewing. Okay, so we learn how to sew in a straight line. We learn how to sew a button on. This could be very handy when you get to a teenager and your button comes off your shirt. So, but you get to make your own pillow. Industrial skills. So you create usable objects out of raw materials. So that means working with wood or plastic, and you put it all together, and so you design it and then you make it. Okay, you get to use equipment like saws and screwdrivers and basic tools. Some of you probably already have experience working with those. Then we have our LEEP subjects. So we've got LEEP COGS. So this subject here encourages you to think. Think outside the box and make an inquiry. Who's doing LEEP COGS at the moment? There's a few students. Yeah? Misty, what are you studying? What project are you working on? Yes. Yeah, future problem solving. So what was the problem that you had to solve though? Okay. Fair enough. So if you've got a problem, you might look at how can we solve poverty? You might look at how can we solve, I'm trying to think of another problem. I'm sure we've got lots of them. Yes? World hunger, that's another one. Okay, there's lots of different ideas, and it's about thinking outside the box. So with LEAP subjects, you have to apply for your LEAP subject. Okay, if you are interested in it and you think it sounds interesting, I encourage you to apply. But we do look at a number of different areas. We look at things like your NAPLAN results from Year 5. We look at your EduTest results when you did EduTest. Was it earlier this year, Mrs. Butcher? Yep. Your academic report cards. We consult with your classroom teachers. Okay, we ask them, like, do you have what it takes to work well in a team and research and solve a problem? We look at your student well-being, consulting with pastoral care, and then there are some students who will be invited to attend or invited to apply. If you are invited, you don't have to do it. It's totally up to you. And if you're not invited, you can still apply. The other LEAP subject that we have is LEAP STEM. Okay, so STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and maths. And you get to explore those 4 areas with real-world problem solving. So looking at engineering, redesigning and improving the performance of your own trebuchet. Does anyone know what a trebuchet is? Yeah? Yeah, it's a medieval catapult that's about the size of this room, and it flinged burning rocks into a castle. Okay, you'll make a smaller version and you won't be destroying the school. So, but you have to see if you can improve it. That sounds like fun. Being a history teacher, that sounds like a lot of fun to me. And the same sort of prerequisites apply for LEAP STEM as they do for LEAP COGS. Okay, you've got to apply for that. So what do you do now? Now, go home and talk to your parents. Okay? So have that conversation. Say, Mum, Dad, this morning, Miss White talked to us about our subjects. It was really interesting. Show them that little handout and say, this is what I think I'd like to take. Okay. So show them the handout. Discuss what you think you would like to take. You are best taking subjects that you are going to be interested in. Don't feel that you should, just because you're a girl, you need to take home ec because you need to know how to cook. or food and technology. It's not like that. If you are interested in cooking or interested in sewing, then take food and textile technologies. Okay? Don't feel obliged to take something because someone else says that you should, even your parents. So, and then next Monday, the 27th of August, there is a parent information night. This starts at 6:45 sharp, and it will finish around about 8 o'clock. There's no need for you to attend, but you are more than welcome to attend if you wish to. So if your mum and dad don't have any kind of babysitting available and they have to drag you along, feel free to come. Okay? The information that we are presenting is not any different to this, same kind of information. At this time, your parents will get a printed copy of the middle school handbook, subject selection handbook. They will also get your login details that will open up the portal for subject selection. Now, the subject selection portal doesn't open next Monday. They get the information, but what you have to do after Monday, when you're talking about it with your parents, you have to choose 2 art subjects, one for semester 1 and one for semester 2, and 2 backups, just in case you don't get into your subject. Okay, you should get into your subject, but we always have backups just in case. For your elective subjects, you have to choose 2, one for semester 1, one for semester 2, plus 3 backups. And the portal opens at 3 p.m. on Thursday. So our talk is today, Wednesday. Parent talk is Monday. Portal opens on Thursday. You have 1 week to make your selections. The portal closes the following Thursday, okay, 9 o'clock in the morning. So when you go into the portal, you enter in your choices, and it's really important that you enter them in the order that you want to do. So let's choose, look at our arts elective. For our art elective, I'm very, very passionate about dance. Really, 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 really want to do dance. So dance is my number 1 choice. And I'm also quite interested in media arts. I think I like to go to the movies. So I would like to know a bit more about how movies are made and what the symbolism in that is. So I choose that. That's my top 2. But then I have to choose 2 spares. And I'm thinking I might like to do, I've always liked to do a little bit of doodling and scribbling around. So maybe visual arts, and then maybe drama. But I have to decide which one I want more. Do I want visual arts more, or do I want drama more? Because I have to choose those in the right order. Because if I really, really want visual arts more than drama, but I choose them the other way around, and then for some reason I don't get my electives, they're going to go to my 3rd choice. My 3rd choice needs to be my 3rd choice. Does that make sense? Okay. Because you don't want to skip your 3rd choice and get your 4th choice. Okay. During the week that portal is open, you actually have 3 chances to make your selection. So you could choose it, and then you could come to school and you can go, oh, guess what? I chose this, 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 and this. And your friend goes, no, I chose that, 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 and that. And you're like, oh, wow, oh, yeah, I should have thought about that. I want to do that. Don't choose subjects just because your friends are doing it. Can't guarantee that you'll be in the same class anyway. But if your friend says to you, no, you really got to do this because we're going to learn about this and that's going to be really interesting, and you're like, oh yeah, I want to change my mind, then you can go back into that portal 3 times, or 2 times, and make 3, you can do it 3 times. So the first time, change your mind, 2nd time, change your mind, 3rd time. Okay. Hopefully you don't need to change your mind that many times, but we put it there just in case. If you change your mind after the portal closes, okay, you actually have to wait until term 4 when your parents will receive a letter saying these are the subjects you've been allocated. And at that point, you can go to secondary reception and fill out a form and make some changes. Okay, and we can do that before the start of next year. So that way, when you start next year, you've got the subjects that you want. Okay? There are also options for changing your subjects at the very beginning of each semester. Okay, you have 2 weeks at the beginning of each semester to be able to change your subjects. If you go along and you take the first lesson of whatever subject you chose and you're like, I'm not too sure about this, I think I want to do something else, you've got those options as well. So you're not locked in 100%. So let's just recap. 2 art subjects plus 2 reserves, 2 elective subjects plus 3 reserves. Portal opens on Thursday afternoon and closes the following Thursday morning. You have 3 chances to select your subjects, plus afterwards, after the portal closes, you still have a chance as well, but you have to wait until term 4. The aim of Year 7 is to have fun with your electives and get a feel for a variety of different subjects. You can continue these subjects through into grade 8 or 9, okay? But there's also no need. You don't have to have done the subject in grade 7 if you want to do it in grade 8. Okay, so if you've never done media arts in grade 7, but you decide after talking to some friends who did it that it sounds interesting and you want to do it in year 8, you can do it. Okay, doesn't matter.